Welcome, Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. We do the local beer stuff here. A little bit of Autodidact back up in this piece in the form of their infinite source. Yeah, this is a double IPA exclusively hopped with Egger special hops. Yeah, Autodidact. Semi-local brew to me, not that far away, 40, 45 minutes away from me. Get there when I can. Love their can art. Always dig it. Negative space is king. And yeah, new hop. I'm sure I've had Egger hops. Maybe not Egger special hops, but yeah, you get those straight hop variety beers, a single hop kind of jam. Yeah, 8.8%. No date in a can that I can find. Maybe we'll look it up towards the end for those that keep score at home. That's all we got. Keep this cold, drink it today, recycle it tomorrow. I'm really tiny over here. I think people hide things. Yeah, hide things. It says all of these years. I don't know what that means. We're going to dive into it, see what's what. Exploding. That was a full can. And negate that negative oxygen as much as we can. But this sucker's coming off quite dark, so we'll see where it lands as far as that goes. I will say that, Autodidact, I really do dig their beers, but I have had a couple of them that had come off a little bit oxidated from time to time. That's a battle you fight with negative oxygen when it comes to Hazie IPA. So we'll see where we land. Like I said, label-wise, can-wise, always on point they are. And man, that's not even, I was going to say it kind of comes off oxidative. It's not so much that it's oxidative. It is butternut squash soup. It is super thick. There's a bunch of particulate floating around in there. I don't know if you can kind of see just those bits and bobs of the randomness, but man, it is thick. Like, this is turkey gravy, probably is a better way to put it when it comes to the way this sucker looks. It looks all the part of an ultra hazy IPA. Just under index finger, just south of khaki-colored head, rocky edges on this sucker with this super dense particulate heavy, which I don't care about that, to be perfectly honest with you, kind of hazy IPA. So it looks like a beast. You're talking about pushing 9%, so you're flirting with that triple IPA range. Yeah. It's dense. It's soupy. It's gravy-like. We're a month away from Thanksgiving. Let's give it a huff. It's funny because what I smell is hop saturation. And by that, I mean, it's saturated with hops. No shit, Sherlock. But it's not like I'm getting like super fruitiness. It's not like I'm getting super this, that, and the other thing as far as like the fruit spectrum goes. And I'm not really getting like a big hop pellet greeny. I'm just smelling like a wet bag of hops. Hopefully that makes sense. It just smells like hops. Like a huge, dense pile of hops. Not huge as far as flavor, at least aromatically. You just smell like there's a copious amounts of hops in there. Outside of that, really not getting much. Just that precursor of the just huge hop dosage, which honestly at that point you can get a lot of different off flavors, hop creep, stuff like that, the acetal, things like that. But as far as the nose goes, it is just dense, wet hop. Like wet hop, I mean like the hop residue left after you fermented a tank, or like make a bunch of hop pellets, or throw some water in a hop pellet bag, shake it around, that kind of thing. Not necessarily like a wet hop kind of vibe, just like wet pellet hops. Wet Egger special hops, let's put it that way. So yeah, just gonna give this sucker a whirl since we're not gonna have a ton on the nose, and just dive in, see where we land. Cheers, y'all. I mean, it's there's a lot of hops to the point where it is a dense, turbid beer, but I feel like you almost get a little bits and pieces of hops, like hop pellet, like it could be some of the bits and bobs floating around there. Not in a negative sense. It's not like detaching myself from the experience of drinking the beer, but you just get like this subtle little particulate thing going on. After 3 quick sips, you get a little bit, tiniest bit of hop burn on there, nothing too crazy. There is a sweetness here. Helps balance off that copious amount of hops. So there's definitely a residual sugar thing. What this kind of lacks for me is the fruit portion of the show. You're getting fruit in here. It's more of a fruit medley across the board. Tropical, your stone, your stitch, just the whole nine. I couldn't really call out specific fruits here, but more specifically, the fruit portion of the show for me is quite muted for the size of the beer and the amount of hops that are in it. You get that little bit of hop grain, you get that big, rich, dense, turbid beer, that slight hop particulate thing going on. It just doesn't back it up with just an overt amount of fruitiness. It's almost like a fruit level that you get on like a regular base, lower ABV kind of IPA, something in that low 6, high 5 ranges. But the rest of it, the way that hop pellet kind of comes off, the way the saturation is, the whole nine of it comes off as a 9% double dry hopped crazy hop beer. It just lacks on the fruit side of things. I appreciate that little bit of residual sweetness on this because of the amount of hop presence you get in this beer. But I just wish that fruit portion of the show just lived up to what all the other things this beer is bringing. Not a negative beer by any stretch of imagination. This whole thing won't be drank. But it just lacks the whole thing being put together. The whole complete work. It's a little bit herky-jerky. It's a little bit detached. It's a little bit kind of, you taste the pieces of what could be a really well done big double IPA. Just that they come off singular, and just that fruit portion of the show is a little bit muted for me to kind of go gaga over. So yeah, fun beer, interesting beer. I would say tasty beer. Just kind of lacks that complete package altogether to make it like wow factor S tier stuff. But yeah, fun experience. Thank you very much, Finney. And let's talk about it. Is it one of the better big double IPAs that it has late? It's fine. We can talk about it. We can throw it in the conversation. It's not Mount Rushmore or close to the top. Value and availability on this, I'm assuming a big beer like this is probably 20 plus at the brewery, if not more. And leave you with probably not brewery only, because I've seen a lot of Autodidact on shelves in and around my area. I'm relatively local, so take that into account. And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you just like big, huge, hazy, dense, turbid double IPAs or bigger. Does the fruit portion of the show here stand out bigger from can to can, or maybe something a bit fresher? I don't know. Maybe you can clue me in if you've had this. But if you dig on those big burly IPAs and you like just a dense hop saturated beer, and that's really your jam, I think you'll dig this for sure. Curious to see what it would be like at the brewery. Should pop over there. Anyway, so there you go. Reviewing the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Massive Beers, if you want to check me out in the social media stuff. Beer Massive for the podcasting stuff. And Autodidact. Have you been to the brewery? Have you had their beers? Have you had this beer? What was your experience with this? Similar to mine? Something a bit different? Anything in between? Talk about it down there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you enjoyed Big Burly Hazy right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.